Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Kika and today we are going to talk about the struggles of living abroad. Have you ever felt like lonely or like an outsider if you do not live at home? Well, hello there! I so know that feeling, and today I wanted to make a video talk about those struggles and maybe the less glamorous side of living abroad. I think we all have this, or maybe not all, but often have this idea of living abroad in other countries, like exotic and cool, and you'll have all these like amazing experiences. Well, I mean, for sure there is that, but the truth is also it's just an ordinary day-to-day life, just in a different setting. In a setting that you're not familiar with, where is the nearest grocery store, how do you ride the metro here, where do I have to take it, like all those kind of real practical things. Plus, you don't have your family, you don't have your friends, you don't have your trusted network, you don't know anybody maybe. That can be really challenging, really a struggle. So I want to make this video, chat about that a little bit, and give some tips. Alright, let's get to it. So I was thinking the other day, like basically half my adult life I've lived abroad. I live now in London. I've lived here for a year. Then I lived in Stockholm before this 2 years. And then just when I was like 19, I moved abroad to Berlin, studied there 2 years, and then Amsterdam 1 year. So yeah, more or less like half my adult life I've lived abroad. And it's been really exciting. It's given me a lot of food for thought, a lot of experiences. I've grown a lot as a human being because you're put into situations that are new and are maybe not so comfortable or in your comfort zone. But then there are things like, how do you make friends? How do you not feel alone? And how do you just, make a life for yourself in a new place? Because that's basically what you have to do, like start over in a sense. Something that you built up since you were a child. And I don't have the answer to all these things. I am not very good at approaching people and making a lot of friends easily. I think it always takes time. Relationship building takes time. But I'm gonna give you like very quick some simple tips that I've found helpful. The first little tip I thought about was what I'm doing now. I'm out shooting a photo. And basically I go on these little exploration trips in this new place, and I think that is really a good way to get out of this feeling of maybe you have restrictions because it's not your own hometown, because it can be a little like intimidating or daunting to go out and see things when you're by yourself. But I really try to make it sort of an exploration and make it into like a solo adventure. So you can basically do that and just go explore. Okay, the second thing which I've found helpful is to just have the smallest human interaction. So if I'm sitting at home the whole day by myself, just going to a cafe, having a cup of coffee, maybe sitting there for a while, maybe listening in on somebody else's conversation. I don't know, that just like makes me feel like part of the place I'm in and makes me feel less lonely. So even maybe I don't have friends to go with for coffee, I can still go and do something nice for myself and have a cup of coffee, or just go even in a store and like buy something, enjoy that human interaction when you sort of buy something. Sounds very pathetic, but I don't know, it's just something about going out there, doing human things, small things basically. Alright, the third thing that I found helpful is to just ask people out for coffee. And this is daunting because it's, making friends as an adult is like really uncomfortable. And like, how do you do it if you don't have a setting like maybe a workplace, or if you don't study? It's tricky, But so I've tried to, if there's anyone that I sort of met through like any sort of circumstances that I thought was interesting person, I have asked some people out for coffee, just very like sort of like asking somebody out for a date. And so if you have anybody that you think like, oh, that person seems nice, just ask them out for coffee or ask them out, to do something. it will feel really good once you've done that, and you'll get to learn to know somebody, even if they maybe don't become your best friend. I think that will give you a lot. All right, number 4 is to find an online community. Haha, so I am on Instagram a lot, and I basically found the whole Instagram online community when I lived in Stockholm. I had just moved there, been there for about a year, and yeah, I don't know, it was really difficult to find like any social network in Stockholm. I didn't really make any friends while I was there. I had like some part-time jobs, but it was always these kind of, I would come in a couple times a week, so I never really got to know the people working at those places. And I wasn't studying anymore, and I was going through a lot of stuff, like thinking about what do I want to do with my life, and I've graduated, but I don't really feel like I want to do this thing that I studied. So there wasn't so much headspace for me either to maybe build those new relationships. So then having that online community and being able to sort of still be like social a little bit, or at least show people, hey, I'm still alive and kicking, doing stuff. That was really, I mean, it basically saved me. Not to be too dramatic, but it did in a way save me. And even if it's not on Instagram, I mean, having Facebook groups or with friends even, there are just so many forums out there online to use and be part of. All right, next one is to have your friends and family visit you, or if you can go home. I try to go home quite often. I mean, this of course depends on money, and tickets. If you live very far away, maybe that's not possible, or if you have a schedule that doesn't allow you to do that, but just try to get people to visit, try to go home and visit people, or visit your family and friends. That will just also just make it just much more easier to remember. People haven't forgotten you, your life there still exists. I think that's one of the fears I have, that when I'm abroad, everybody will forget me, and that life that I had, is that just gone now? So every time I do go home, and it's sort of like, okay, because most of the time, like, nothing has changed, like everything's exactly the same at home, and that's quite nice to know. All right, and the next one is something I did quite recently, was to join a gym. So join a gym or take a workshop or some course. That just being like in a setting of like a group or some people, also just exercising, like getting those endorphins, has helped so much. So I would really encourage you to do that if at all possible. All right, and my last one is that just embrace this time in your life. Trust that this is, the right thing to do right now. I mean, just yesterday I was talking to my boyfriend how I struggle and like I miss my friends, and just like, when I sit at home and work a whole day, I would like to go out with like some girlfriends, just have a coffee, talk about something completely different, see my sister. But then he just said, like, maybe this is the time in your life that you are focusing on this work thing, and you're focusing on building that. And I've started to knit again more now, like a hobby. So I don't know, just remembering it's not temporary, even if it can feel a little bit isolating and a little bit like, what am I doing here? You're not alone. So yeah, just try to embrace this time of life, and I don't know, explore, be grateful for these things. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video and this little chat. I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic and your tips on it. Like, what have you found helpful? And come and hang out at Instagram. I'm over there at Kotavakika, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.
A bee in my bonnet, hello. There's a bee in my bonnet, hello, hello. A bee in my bonnet, hello.